Boruto to Blue Vortex Chapter 21 shows two Shinju getting defeated. It shows Ryu getting defeated by Sarada, and it shows Matsuri getting finally defeated by Boruto. Now, we can kind of give a half victory to Konohamaru, since she, was weakened by his double giant Rasengan, but I'm more so thinking in terms of actually get defeated. Boruto sliced her up really quickly. Now, what does this all mean? I think it might mean that the Shinju might need a little bit of an upgrade. I'm not saying a huge upgrade, but they might want an upgrade. Now, there are any number of circumstances that were outside of their control. They didn't know the abilities that they were facing up front, so they were more so blindsided than they were actually full-on defeated. If Ryu and Jura and Bug and Hidari and Matsuri, if they knew all of the abilities of which they were fighting up against, then maybe it would be a different story. Maybe if they knew what Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan ability could do, they would have a better way of fighting against it or dealing with it, and so on and so on. But with everybody getting a huge boost, and with them being defeated multiple times throughout their quote-unquote fights here and there, their battles, the only two that haven't gotten defeated are Bug and Jura, and it's not exactly like they're not fighting, but it's more so that they're waiting for the right opportunity to strike. So, if the Shinju were to get an upgrade, if they were to seek out more strength, were to get even more powerful to face these foes, so that way they can absolutely destroy them and decimate them and not have to worry about facing this person or that person, the only thing that I think of in giving them an upgrade is definitely the tailed beasts. That's the only thing that I can think of. And I may have said this in an earlier video. I might have proposed the idea that they go after the other 8-tailed beasts out there. And it's looking like it might head in that direction, especially because they might need a bit of an upgrade, and it's not exactly like Jura is going to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village to get Himawari, because she is the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. So it's looking like it might be going after other, tailed beasts. What can we do to gain more strength? Well, we can absorb the 10-tailed beasts, or the 9-tailed beasts, and make it a part of our chakra reserve, make us stronger, and also bear a larger chakra fruit when the time comes. So it might be within their design or in their nature, you know what I mean? Right out the gate, obviously they want to eat the Otsutsuki, but do they want to create the biggest divine tree? Be the strongest divine tree? It might be within their composition. It might be kind of in their DNA of actually, I want to see us be the strongest version of ourselves as we possibly can be. And then in that, they might have to get a bit of an upgrade. Although it could just be that, like I stated, they didn't know what they were fighting up against. They didn't know Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan. They didn't know Boruto's Rasengan Uzuhiko. They didn't know that, Matsuri was more so cheated against, or blindsided, you know what I mean? She was tricked by Konohamaru, and then he landed a double giant Rasengan against her, and she fell for it. Now it's more than likely that she won't fall for it, and she'll have to face against other abilities and ideas. Mostly Team 10. So, Chocho, Inojin, Shikadai, it's more looking like that's the direction they're headed towards. And after this battle, what really is the Shinju to do other than to invade the hidden Leaf Village, or to go after Boruto and Kashin Koji again? That's what they were doing in the beginning of all of this. They were just looking for Kashin Koji, following the toads and following where Boruto was and where Kashin Koji is. That was their main target. But after this battle, it might start to shift that we need to get stronger so that way we can deal with these idiots and then eventually eat the Otsutsuki. You know what I mean? So it might steer us in that direction. It might not. But if they were to get upgraded, that's how I think they would get upgraded. That's the simple way to do it. Another way to do it would just be to go after strong shinobi. Go after the other villages and make it a global threat. Make them a large threat, make them somebody to fear and to oppose, I guess. So, what does that mean? I guess I'm basically saying that, they're going to use the Claw Grimes to invade other places, not the Hidden Leaf Village, I guess. Not that. I'm assuming Jura cares about the other villages or is like interested in them, but what else is there to do? It's like invading the other villages, or like how he might learn the culture or like be in the area. You know what I mean? I don't know. But come next chapter, if Jura shows up and he has to face Boruto, he has to face Konohamaru, Mitsuki, like, I think that's a pretty straight up fight. And against Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan, or Boruto's Rasengan no Zuhika, we'll have to see what they try or what they have to do. It's gonna be interesting to watch how they navigate their fighting abilities next chapter. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah,